Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. Assumer is not available right now. It is I, xisumavoid, the server administrator, and I am here to let you know that we have successfully updated to pre-release 4. And this update will fix all of the lighting issues that we have had in this world. I'll show you that in just a moment, and for most of the players on the server, they have had silky smooth performance since updating to this, which sounds really good. I myself have had a little bit of ropey chunk loading, and I've got a feeling it might actually be down to my internet connection. Anyway, this is part of my administrative duties, right, to update bits and bobs, and Cleo has sent me some structure blocks with some instructions on how to restore some of her armor stands. So let's switch into spectator mode. You know, Cleo is known for doing amazing details with armor stands, and all of them have vanished. Now, I have heard reports that in this pre-release 4 update, entities can still vanish, but I can't really confirm it. We've only got one reported case here on the server. Anyway, this is all prepped and ready to go. So let's switch back into creative mode and load this up, and you can see the positioning was absolutely correct as all the blocks stayed intact, and now the entities are back. Cleo's cats and the details that she's put together in her base, including the maps, they are all perfectly intact. So these structure blocks really do pick up every little bit of data that they can. Now the next one is over here, so let's load that one up, and it looks like another success, and hopefully this is everything in Cleo's ship restored. Of course, if she's got anything down here in the basement that hasn't been restored, I'll be happy to do that, and of course any of the hermits can do this now, and I'll happily get these things restored. So it's over here that I've had a report that the villager that trades mob heads, or hermit heads even, has disappeared. And, yikes, no one mentioned that more than just that one had disappeared. We've lost all of them on that side and this side. Let's just check the chunk alignment. They are kind of near chunk borders, but then so are these ones. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but this could possibly mean that entities are still vanishing in this update, which is of course bad news. Yikes. Now, I don't believe I showed the lighting issues on my video, but if you've seen Impulse's recent episode on the server, he went down into the mall and everything was absolute darkness. It was terrible, but you can see here that everything has been restored to normal with this update, and I also restored his bamboo shop. I can't remember if I just did that off camera or showed it in an episode, but that's been fixed as well. So lighting issues are over. This means that the experience for the hermits should be plenty better, although it looks like there's still a couple of critical bugs that need to be fixed before 1.14.2. Well, anyway, let's get into this episode, and I'll start off by asking you a question. Does this place look familiar? Because it's about to look less familiar. As you can see, I've been tearing out a lot of the blocks around here, and I've just gone and repaired all of my tools over at the pigman farm. You can probably tell by the excessive amount of XP that I have that I've been over there, and getting these repaired so I can finish removing all of the dirt and stone in this area, so that we have just a chunk sort of on its own, which is where the farm is. However, you'll see I've started to extend this around the outside, and that's because we're going to be extending our mob farm to include hostile mobs in a really curious way. But it's not actually what I want to be doing at the beginning of this episode. I want to go over to Tower Bay. I want to go back to the 1.13 area for a little bit. I got a farm that I want to build over there that's going to facilitate building other farms. It'll all make sense in just a moment. And it will also make sense why we've been gathering so much string from this one, right? Because we've got the spider spawners down there. That's actually a crucial ingredient for the project that we're going to be working on. So we will come back here later on in this episode. All of this stuff will be cleared out and gone, and we'll be working on yet another component of our mob farm. It's just going to have occurred to me, you might not know how much string we have. This is a little AFK hole that we have, and it's standing right next to the cave spider spawners. I recorded a clip earlier in the day, but I kind of deleted it. I thought, But anyway, I actually now need to tell you the same things I talked about in that clip, which was just how the farm's been operating so far. Because I had a fair amount of time to do some AFKing, but players have always been online when I've been doing that, other players. So that means that the passive mob farm wouldn't have been working so well. You can see a few drops here coming through, which is nice, but tons and tons of string. We've got a little bit of slime here alongside all of the stuff that I put over there. And so it's going pretty well in terms of getting string, and that's because at night time these spawners become active. And there hasn't been a lot of night time because there's been lots of hermits on sleeping. So I'm really pleased with how much we actually managed to get. It could have been a lot less. And the reason we need all this string is for scaffolding. And so I've come here to harvest all of this bamboo with my shulker boxes that I've got here. This is quite humorous. You see, no one else on the server has built a bamboo farm. And of course, if someone else had have built a bamboo farm, there would be absolutely no way that I could build one of my own, right? Like, if I were to go and build my own bamboo farm, it'd just be the worst thing ever. Why on earth would I do that? Because someone else has built their own bamboo farm, right? But luckily for me, no one else has built a bamboo farm this season. Impulse doesn't have a bamboo shop and scaffolding. What? We didn't buy some from him. What are you on about? Anyway, we're going to build a bamboo farm. And the reason that we need to build a bamboo farm is to build another farm. It's all going to be very curious. But let's talk about what's going on in this area. Apart from it raining drops and making this sound, which is really satisfying, actually. Oh, that's a really nice harvesting sound. Oh, I love that. And all of this bamboo is going to despawn, so let me gather it all quickly. Okay, there we go. For some reason I thought that would fill up more than one shulker box, and now that I think about it, I've actually got a chest full over here as well, so we'll move this in. But anyway, remember, if you see another hermit, okay, if another hermit builds a bamboo farm, you have to go to the video and spam in capital letters, Assumer already built one, you know. For example, I've already built with nether bricks, and spruce and dark oak. So if you see anyone building with spruce, dark oak or nether bricks, be sure to spam and tell them that someone else has already built with them, because that's the way that things work in Minecraft apparently. You can see that there are things going on in and around this area. First of all, I love this use of scaffolding up here. It's so great to walk into an area and see it. It makes you feel like you know something is going to change, and then you want to come back and see how it changes. You'll also see this giant wall around the outside here. I don't think that wall's going to be permanent, because the idea of this place was to continuously expand outwards, as far as I understood it. There are also other buildings popping up as well. There is now a miniature architect / Sahara outpost here, and Mumbo's in. Oh my goodness me. What is that? Like an armless Mumbo? Dear Lord, okay. So we are back in Tower Bay, and there seems to be fire on the ground. I know that a hermit has probably done this, and I don't know which hermit, and I don't know why, but let's not get distracted. We need to build a bamboo farm so that we can build another farm. And what we need to build farms in this area, I have now decided, is scaffolding. Because do you know what will look amazing? Having scaffolds going high up into the sky. And that is not high up into the sky. I'm clicking on the wrong side of the block. High up into the sky like this, showing where the skyscrapers are going to be. I'd like to put loads and loads of this stuff on each of the platforms here, so we can kind of anticipate the structures that we're going to be building in the future. Now I've come to this one first of all to throw down some scaffolding, because this is actually where we're going to build the bamboo farm. It will be inside of a tower, and that means that we're going to have to build an interesting design to accommodate that shape. This might just be one of the first times ever, after doing a whole bunch of redstone, that I just fancy not doing it that way for once. There is some limitations to doing this design that would probably mean this farm is going to be way too fussy for my liking. So let's go through what I've spent the last 90 minutes doing. There are 4 different designs in total that I've kind of looked at. First of all, I thought we'd start off with a slime block sweeping across all of our bamboo like this, and then coming back again. So I managed to come up with this little circuit right here that I really like, but then I realized, well, the problem with this is that we've got a big bulge sticking out the side of our farm where the bamboo is planted, and this is going in a tower, so it needs to be compact and slim, otherwise we'd have something sticking out the side of the tower every so often. So over here I kind of drew up the measurements of where the tower was. I want it to have ice windows, so we'll have these things visible, and there'll be like shapes being put together as we so do with our towers. So we need to contain the farm inside of here, and using a flying machine to go back and forth means that parts of the flying machine would need to stick outside of the building a little bit, and then we end up with this space right here. After jiggling all the blocks around, I realized that we would use a small amount of grass in the middle for the bamboo. Then there's the problem of all the drops flying from down here. So the slime blocks will push some of the bamboo across to the far side. Some of them will end up on here, which means we'd need a minecart collection system below. Then we also need a way to get the redstone signal over these things to tell them when they need to activate. And inside of this small square box, all of this becomes extremely fussy, irritating, and we end up with a rather small amount of bamboo. Then there's also this design over here, which I really like the idea of. Imagine this being placed on both sides, right? There's just a row of pistons. They can push all of the blocks out like so. Can I make that go a little bit further? I can. And then we'd have a bunch of pistons on the opposite side that then push them all back. Really cool, but then we need to have this obnoxious thing sticking out the side of the tower. So with these elements of needing the slime blocks to go back and forth and needing something to collect the items from the platform, it seems like building a stackable vertical bamboo farm isn't the greatest of ideas. But then we have this over here, so please excuse the use of pistons. We would use a different type of block, like a note block, I think that works, or maybe let's quickly just swap it over to a lamp, because all this lamp is doing is passing the signal downwards through this block. So the bamboo would slowly grow up over time in this one tool column, and when it gets to the top, bam, it would activate like that, and it would jostle too many times than it needed to. And because this would all be done like side by side, what am I doing here? I'm trying to middle click on the piston. Because there would be walls built up side by side, we would basically have these trenches where the bamboo would fall down into, and then the minecart would collect it from underneath, right? And that is probably my most favoured of all the designs. However, this is going to require a really large amount of resources, and I just think it's silly. It doesn't feel like I found a solution that I'm particularly happy with, and the one I would be most likely to build is the flying machine, and we've already done that this season a couple of times. So do you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm just going to do it the old way with an axe and create a manual farm. So there'll be some sort of way in the very middle of the farm to get up and down between the floors, and then each one will be 20 blocks tall, because that's the tallest that bamboo grows, and it will literally just be a grass floor. Maybe we would need lighting in here as well, and that would be problematic with the ice. But then again, does bamboo like this stop mobs spawning from it on it? Because then it could potentially be a dark room, right? Well, the answer may appear to be no. Mobs are not spawning in this room, that much is clear. I've been flying around for a while. But there is a little bit of a catch here. That's bamboo that I've planted down. And when I do this with bamboo saplings, you'll see the hitbox. Well, I don't think it actually has a collision box, which is the big difference here. Whereas bamboo does. You can collide with it. But with the bamboo sapling, you can actually walk through it. So this means we need all of the saplings to grow in order to stop mobs spawning inside of here. But I think this is the way that we're going to go forward. I actually really like the idea of just doing something simple for this project. So I just hit record and noticed that there is a pillager patrol over there. In fact, is there two of them with banners? Wouldn't that technically make it two pillager patrols, or am I seeing things? I do not want to grab their attention. No, stop looking at me. I'm not here. So what is this monstrosity we're looking at here? It is the design for the tower. This bit is what I'm going to call the repeating segment where a new floor of the tower starts, and these are going to be about every 20 blocks, because that's as far as the bamboo appears to grow. So we're going to have sheets of sheets of glass going up that will be the windows, and we're probably going to need to throw in some extra terracotta going across like this every now and then just to keep it looking good. I'm going to have to remember to put carpet on here as well, and then that's pretty much the design. I'm hoping it's going to scale up well. If not, we'll probably be able to add a few more shapes to it and make it feel right. And then down here you can see I'm now destroying it. I've kind of gone and put in some stone where there was grass, and then on the inside we need grass to place the bamboo. Now we've got a scaffold here in the middle, and that's actually going to go under the ground here, so I can't really do that now because everything above will then fall down. But we'll probably have an entrance to this area just here. You'll go in and under, and then you'll go up through the scaffolding to get to each of the different floors. So when you arrive at one like this, you can stick your head out, drop down, and start chopping away at the bamboo. The axe won't break the glass easily. Oh, I said the wrong word again. I was trying to say ice. At least I didn't say arse like before. Goodness me. Anyway, yeah, the one risk is breaking the scaffold in the middle. but it's actually going to be very easy to repair if that does happen, and probably fairly easy to avoid. So this is what I envision for this area, like big scaffolding frameworks of towers that are going to be here. You know what, I think I might actually make this one extra section taller, because, I don't know, I feel like we need some diversity. I want probably most of them to be this height or smaller, and then maybe have one really big one. Yeah, anyway, let's fly over there. Look at all this scaffolding. Do you want to know what's funny about this? I probably have enough bamboo and enough string already to make it for all the other platforms. We've got one here, one there, there's another one, and then the double one over there for Concorp. So maybe we're cutting it close, but I probably don't need a big farm like this to get all the scaffolding together. So first things first, with the scaffolding in place, the ice is now in place behind it, and this is kind of a peculiar sight really, because when you fly around with a rocket you don't really get this sense of like the tower being there, because it kind of blends in with the sky depending on what direction you're at. Also, I expressed the desire to build this taller. I think I might have to do that, and I've taken several trips over to the ice farm area, whatever it was, and filled up this chest, and basically I don't have enough ice to make it any taller at this point. So I've come over here to pinch some grey wool for making carpets, and we're still making sails. I put all the diamonds from this chest here into this one. I mean, this was a very profitable shop. The thing is, I'm not sure how many of these sails are made after 1.14. Whoo, we've got a diamond block there. Because I figured that everyone would make their own wool farm now, but it looks like we are still selling lots and lots of wool. So I don't know what the fate of this shop is really. I kind of pictured it not getting used as much anymore, but hey, maybe we're still in the diamonds here. I'll probably end up lowering the price once we build our sheep farm. No, I have not been using any of the wool yet, because behind me you'll see all I put in is the cyan terracotta, and I'm starting to think that this scaffolding stuff is kind of getting in the way of the view a little bit, and I really want to see the shape of this thing come together at the moment, which is what we'll do next. We're going to put in that black terracotta that you saw from our original design, which is just over there, so that'll go in as a rim around, you know, the side that we're working on, and then we're either going to split up the window into a half or into thirds and have some beams going across. I think we're probably going to gravitate towards thirds, but let's get a few more blocks in there and see how it goes. I think I might actually rip out the scaffolding on one side so we can kind of have it finished and look at it and see if we like it or not. Okay, then the scaffolding isn't coming down straight away, but oh, actually that's looking pretty cool. I went dark because of the cookie in the sky. I really do like this actually. The black terracotta is a little bit bold, but hey, we'll roll with it for now. I could always go and change it later on, I guess. So down here we have a window. I believe this is 6 blocks tall, then it's 5 blocks, then it's 6 blocks again, but the bottom is slightly different from where the next floor starts, because these 3 blocks where the black are, if I could get to them, geez, this is always awkward with scaffolding, the floor is in the middle, so that means when we go up here, it's 5, and then it's 6 again, and I'm happy with those breaks. It looks really cool. We've split the windows into thirds, feels very nice. And now what I'm going to do is put carpet on all of this, and once the carpet's on, we'll be able to rip the scaffolding out. And I've actually gone ahead and built this entire thing around all the sides leading up to the very top, as you can see. And so this thing is close to complete. We won't be building the roof today. I won't have time for that. I thought I put grass blocks in my inventory. Apparently I haven't. I've come up here to build the next platform, and you can see that actually the bamboo can grow way above 20 blocks. So we should probably do a myth busting on this to figure out the actual number, right? If I look at this though and look at the right, there's no actual hint to how high up it is, so I don't know what the limit on its height is. It's not in the data when you look at the block itself. So turns out I've been a bit of a derp. This is actually where the next floor is. There were some like blocks left over from where I was testing, and so you can see here this is like halfway between the bottom floor and where the next one actually is. So those ones weren't growing over 20 blocks, and everything that you see right here now needs to be ripped out. I can now happily report that this is basically a completed project. And one thing I will say about this design is it's not our strongest, but the fact that there'll be many in this area, I think will let it blend in the future. And now I really want to see all of that scaffolding pop off. But let's just move back here. Wow, that is a ginormous tower. It kind of dwarfs the one over there from this angle. It's not as wide, but it really is massive. And oh, I do like it. I do like it, but let's go on and pop off that scaffolding. So I think a more from the ground type of view is good for this, rather than watching it from my perspective, right? So how much of this is going to pop off? Yeah, I had a feeling that might happen. Then this one. Oh, they're staying up. Okay, then I'm going to go one on the left, one on the right. In fact, I'm just going to keep going. We're going to pop off all of them. And they're going to be falling down from way up high. And it is raining scaffolding where I am. Let's keep popping them off. Let's watch it from down here now. Whoa. Wow, I love watching all the particles fall down. Okay, so now we're really going to go for it. That's absolutely amazing. It's raining scaffolding. Oh, now I've got to go and pick all of this up. I bet my inventory is going to fill up in about 3 seconds. And of course now I've got to fly around and do this because some of it landed up here. I mean, I know this stuff is dirt cheap. It's bamboo cheap is what it is, but I'm going to collect it anyway. So still a couple of things to do, but there we go. Another tower in Tower Bay and another project complete. This farm is ready to go because it's a manual farm. I'm going to chop it all down with my axe after it's grown. So I know at the very beginning of this video I teased that we'd be doing something over at this project at the end of the episode. My plan was to come over here and work on the hostile mob farm element of this. It's going to be a multi-mob farm. We're going to get all sorts of things done over here. Reality is, though, I ran out of time. Building that skyscraper took a lot of hours. As I'm sure you can imagine, it was a massive project. So this one will have to wait until the next one. I've got to leave you hanging. Got to keep you curious as to what we're going to do over here. So this is the end of it. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. As always, thanks for the support on the videos. And I'll be seeing you soon in the next episode of Hermitcraft. Bye-bye.